All right, well, let's move on to our next topic here. And this was a big one this week for a few reasons, and that is the Team Rocket cards. So I guess we didn't really talk about this, but something I guess we could at least just mention. Um, the new set did get officially revealed and all that in English as well. And um, and there was like the whole Pokemon Center debacle as well with Destined Rivals. So I
What
always
was
try
that?
to
I don't
hop.
even know what that.
Well, there was like a queue of like 700,000 people waiting to get into the Pokemon Center.
Oh, like, online. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
everyone was tweeting about the Pokemon Center this week. I thought they was, like, trying to get, like, a spot at, like, NAIC or something, like,
Mm-mm.
I literally didn't know what they were talking about, but I'm usually pretty disinterested in anything Pokemon Center related because it is such a cluster for sure, so I'm not trying to
Yeah.
worry about that stuff.
I
I need
saw
more
how
just for
hard
this
of a
though.
time everyone was having, and I didn't even try, to be honest. So, yeah, it's rough out there, and I hope Pokemon figures some solution out very soon because I saw someone tweet something where it's like, I mean, this is like a prime time for people to like be enjoying the hobby, like there's really cool cards, both gameplay wise, artwork wise, and stuff like that. So it's like you just maximum number of people that of all time that have been interested in the hobby, and it's like the supply is just not there. So like, I really hope that
Yeah.
something gets figured out very soon.
The thing is, though, it's like that feels like such a big problem for them because, like, it feels like the scalpers are endless and kind of like all the scalpers as well would buy more if they could, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, like
Well,
how far can
unless
you go?
unless you could literally hop online and order it whenever you wanted for MSRP.
Yeah, but they can't do that though because they need to make money, right? They can't overprint the set to the point where they're losing money every set because they can't do that infinitely. Maybe for a couple sets in a row they could,
Well, it doesn't have
but
to be to the
like,
point that they're losing money, but it's like
yeah, but
you keep it in print for a certain amount of time, right?
maybe I guess I just don't know what the. I feels like the process is probably more involved than that. Otherwise, it seems like that would already be like a solution they've.
And we've seen this kind of happen in waves in the past, right? So back
Yeah.
in 2016, there was a big influx of people into the game. I started playing shortly before. I started playing in like 2015, so I kind of witnessed these. I've witnessed a few of these waves over the years, where Pokemon Go came out. Just interest in Pokemon overall skyrocketed. A lot of people started playing like the video games more, the trading card game, and collecting cards. And scare like you could still go into any Target or Walmart and find some Pokemon cards, but there was like some products like on release were a little bit more in demand, a little harder to get. There was just a lot more people interested in the game. And so prices of product like they would go out of print after like 6 months or something like that. They would start to increase quite a bit. Um and so they started printing more product. And then you got into like the early Sun and Moon era, like Guardians Rising, Crimson Invasion, where like there was just so much of those products made that their value after they've like moved out of standard were didn't like scale with what you would expect because there was just more of it. They made so much more of it. Um and then towards the end of the Sun and Moon era, they kind of like scaled things back because they were printing more stuff than they maybe necessarily needed to. This is just like all observations. This is not like me knowing how any of this works, right? And then they have some really good sets that come out, the tag teams, Team Up, Unbroken Bonds, Cosmic Eclipse. These sets become more and more popular. And even like at the time, they weren't like super, super expensive, but after they were out of standard, like within a year, within a year of like their release, the box prices started to like increase steadily,
Yeah.
um, showing that there was just kind of more interest in these things. And then um, through like the Sword and Shield era in early COVID and stuff, there was a lot of interest in it because early COVID, a lot of people were interested in Pokemon cards, Champion's Path, that stuff. All of it was selling out really, really fast. And so they started printing a lot more stuff. And then you get things like Battle Styles, where there was just a gajillion Battle Styles products that were printed. And it's like, even currently, I don't even think Battle Styles, like, I remember that be for a while, those kind of like middling Sword and Shield sets, you could just still get booster boxes at MSRP basically until maybe just recently.
I was
Because
like
they
maybe
made so much of it. But they do eventually, it does eventually all sell and eventually all like rise in price, quote unquote, right?
I think there was kind of also lack of chase cards in battle styles. There's like nothing that the
And
collectors wanted.
There's tons of factors to all of these things for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Um,
thinking it's more complicated than it is. Maybe there is a little bit easier of a solution, but I'm sure there. It does seem. I think one thing we can say for sure, it does seem like Pokemon is committed to trying to get the uh to circumvent the scalpers as much as they possibly can. Because we've seen multiple statements from them at this point where they're like, we're printing more product or we're trying to come up with solutions. So it does seem like they are aware and care and are trying to make it work for sure. So that's good to see. I think.
yeah, hopefully. I still have not gotten Prismatic Evolutions product for us for our Evolution series on the second channel, so I'm kind of holding out low key for them to just come out at MSRP, hopefully, because I don't really want to buy them for $80 a piece. I know you wouldn't really care if we did, but it's like the principle of it. I'm holding out.
The scalpers win if you buy them at $8 a piece.
Exactly, exactly, and I'm not going to allow that to happen.
But then the people lose because they don't get the next evolution series
We're
for
so far away from needing prismatic evolutions. It's fine. It's fine. We just released the Twilight Masquerade. We've got a couple recorded already. We've already got what's after that? Shrouded, Fable, Stellar Crown. Those are both recorded. We have the Surging Sparks box. So there's enough time. There's enough time.
Alright.
Prismatic is coming up pretty soon after that though, so we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, yeah, hopefully they find a solution sooner than later. But like, yeah, there's gonna be. It feels like it's one of those things where it maybe just kind of goes back and forth, where like they overprint a couple sets in a row, but then
Oh,
they have to scale it back because interest dies, and then they have to, and then all of a sudden I don't know, it's complicated.
by the way, I really need you to
Everyone just
win
worth so much money.
a Destined Rivals booster box at, or not Destined Rivals, Journey Together booster box at Atlanta, and then also Destined Rivals at like NAIC or whenever that becomes legal.
Sure, sure.
Appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.